I was still in my wedding dress when I realized they weren't coming. The last of the guests had taken their seats, the music started, the doors opened, and my parents' chairs, front row, reserved with gold name cards, sat empty. I thought maybe traffic, maybe nerves, maybe my father couldn't handle walking me down the aisle. But as I stood there, bouquet trembling in my hands, I knew they weren't late. They weren't coming. After the ceremony, while the photographer was lining us up for pictures, I slipped out, found a quiet corner behind the catering tent, and called my mother. She answered on the second ring. "What?" she snapped. I froze. "Mom, where are you?" "Don't bother us," she said, her voice sharp, unfamiliar. Then, click. That was it. No apology, no excuse. Just a door slammed in my face by the two people I'd been taking care of for 3 years. I stood there in silence, the phone still pressed to my ear long after the line went dead. And that's when something in me shifted, quietly, permanently. I used to send them $2,000 every month, automatic transfer the first of the month, like clockwork, so you two can live comfortably, I'd said when I got my promotion. You don't have to worry about anything. They laughed, hugged me, told me I was their pride. I believed them. Every visit, Mom would say, "You're our rock, baby." Every call, Dad would ask if I needed anything, if the job was treating me right. They were proud parents, or so I thought. Then I started noticing things. Subtle things. A new flat-screen TV when they'd claimed they were barely making it. A cruise ticket stub on the counter when I dropped by unannounced. Mom's new jewelry, Dad's leather jacket, both gifts from friends. It didn't add up, but I didn't question it because love blinds you and guilt binds you. Until that phone call. After I hung up, I walked straight to my car, still in my gown, veil trailing behind me like a ghost. My fiancé, now husband, called after me, but I didn't turn back. I drove to the bank, sat in the parking lot, staring at the closed sign for Sunday hours. My fingers drummed the steering wheel. Then I remembered mobile banking. 5 minutes later, every account in my name, joint savings, automatic transfers, linked cards, was locked. Every route that led from me to them sealed off. No message, no warning, just silence. By the time I returned to the reception, I felt lighter. Not happy, but free. 30 minutes later, my phone started vibrating non-stop. Dad. Then again. And again. When I finally answered, his voice was frantic. "What the hell did you do?" "I don't know what you mean," I said calmly. "The accounts, the money's gone." "Oh," I said. "That." He went silent. Then his voice rose, full of that old thunder I used to fear. "You ungrateful, after everything we've done for you?" "Everything?" I repeated. My tone stayed even, steady. "You didn't even show up." He started shouting, but I hung up. And for the first time in years, the silence that followed didn't scare me. Later that week, I stopped by their house, not to reconcile, just to collect what was mine. Mom opened the door, her eyes wide. "You can't just—" "I can," I said, walking past her. "This furniture, I paid for it. That car outside, it's in my name. You've been living off me, not with me." Dad stormed in from the kitchen, face red. "You can't do this to your parents." I turned to him, met his eyes. "You already did this to your daughter." The room fell quiet. The only sound was the ticking clock above the mantel, also purchased with my card. I took the files from the drawer. Tax forms, receipts, my name printed on every bill. Proof of everything they'd taken and everything I'd foolishly given. When I reached the door, Mom's voice cracked. "You're really cutting us off?" I looked back once. "You cut yourselves off." Then I left. They called for weeks after that, sometimes angry, sometimes desperate. I didn't answer. Eventually, the calls stopped. 2 months later, I got a call from my aunt. Dad had lost it. Rage, stress, whatever you call it, she said. He'd been yelling about betrayal and money that should have been his. I listened, said nothing. After I hung up, I poured myself a drink, not to celebrate, but to close the chapter. See, revenge isn't fire and fury, it's control. It's silence where they expect begging. It's peace where they expect guilt. And when you finally take it back, your power, your dignity, it doesn't explode. It settles. Quietly, like the calm after a storm that was never yours to weather in the first place. Sometimes I still think about that call, about how easy it was for her to say, "Don't bother us." So I didn't. I never bothered them again.